everybody, David Rodriguez here, and today we're going to be going over probably something that's perhaps a little bit nitpicky, but I think it bears some talking about, and that is injury prevention. And it's become recently popular, especially within the cancer that is Instagram fitness, and how we're starting to think about, or where they're putting in, like, if you do X exercise or if you use X implement, you're going to become injury free. And you'll see this phrase frequently associated with flexibility, mobility, prehab, rehab, functional training. You'll see this whole word salad soup of crap that doesn't mean anything, that people just throw together, because when normal people read it who don't know any better, they're going to be like, that's a smart cookie right there. And it's like, no, this is an idiot, and you shouldn't even bother paying attention to them. Typically, the more fancier it becomes, the stupider that person is. Now, why doesn't how does injury prevention not exist? Well, the thing is that the human body is not a video game, unfortunately. Life isn't a video game. It's not like if we do X amount of exercises for our shoulders or for our ankles or for our hips or any joint, whatever, that we're going to become all of a sudden immune to getting injured that way, right? I could do 100 arm circles or 100 cars or 100 pails, rails, whatever, but if something happens to me that exceeds the capacity that my shoulder can handle, it's gonna get injured. It's just how it works. Force is force. There's nothing, it's not like your body can differentiate between, hey, I am working out, so I can't get injured, or, hey, a train is about to, this is an extreme example, but a train is about to hit me, so I need to prepare and lock in and not get injured. Or if somebody collides with you on accident and it kind of like maybe knocks your shoulder out of place, the same thing. Your body isn't going to realize, hey, I'm about to get injured, so I'm going to lock everything in place and I'm going to become injury free. Nope, that's not how that works. Force is force, doesn't matter. What is it enacted by, or what does it? And so people like to kind of, again, they just wrap this word and this term into like some kind of fancy thing, just to push either their own products or their own workout programs. And then so instead, what we're looking for in a smarter, correct term would be injury mitigation. And that word will probably also end up being bastardized too by people, but it's a lot better than just straight up lying through your teeth and saying, hey, if you do this, you're going to become injury free. So what exactly are we looking for when it comes to injury mitigation? So when it comes to injury mitigation, and if we're actually trying to look to preserve ourselves and kind of be like the healthiest, the strongest that we can be, we kind of need a combination of two things. And if you've done any kind of studying or at least looked at fitness or things, you should probably kind of be aware of this somewhat simple formula. So if we're looking, again, right, to build any kind of like strength, resiliency, whatever, we're trying to mitigate the injuries that can happen to us by building our capacity to handle, right? So capacity is we're going to need a combination of active modalities such as strength training, mobility training, and then probably any kind of drill for your specific sport, so that way you at least know what you're doing when you go out there and you're just not a chicken with your head cut off and something could happen. Now, obviously, this is on a scale, right? If it's a kid, it's a beginner, there's no reason to be making them go through all of this. Let a kid be a kid. Let a kid have fun. But now, if you're actually trying to become more serious into your sport or whatever, then these three things, there's probably more, But these are the three biggest things, in my opinion, that come to mind that really help facilitate growth. It helps facilitate strength. It helps facilitate resiliency. And this is kind of going to be like your bricks, so to say. So if I have a house analogy, right, these are going to kind of be your bricks, quote unquote. And then so what we need to pair this with is now with passive modalities. And so passive modalities are going to be, nutrition, right? Which I guess could be considered active depending on your viewpoint of it. But nutrition is going to be one. Adequate rest and recovery, R&R. So that can include so now this is where you can include your Sorites, your lacrosse balls, your foam rollers, your Theraguns, your cane thingy. I've seen that before. Any kind of thing that kind of helps make you feel better and kind of makes everything a little bit less so tight, and helps you kind of relax a little bit more. Stretching, things of that nature. And I guess this falls under rest, but whatever, same thing. But I think it deserves its own little category. Sleep. Okay, so your active recovery things are going to be like your bricks, right? So these are going to be your foundations of sorts. This is kind of going to be the wall that you've built up to help fight against injuries, where your passive is going to be kind of like the cement or your glue that kind of holds it all together, that allows you to keep building. Because if you only focus right here on these active modalities, at some point you're going to burn out and you're going to get injured. It's just going to happen. It's just how it is. And so similar how if you would have a whole stack of bricks, if you have something that is strong enough to push over that stack of bricks, the bricks fall down. Now, if you can eat healthy and you can lose weight and you can rest, recover, sleep, but guess what? You kind of just only have the glue part of the house. And if you've seen cement, wet cement, I'll just say wet glue, right? You just have wet glue just kind of stacked and it just stays that way. It's the same thing. You can just push it, move it around. There's no stability, there's no solidity, it's just mush. But obviously, if you combine the two in equal amounts, or not equal amounts, but in, how should I say this? In amounts that make sense, then guess what? You're going to build an amazing amount of capacity. You're going to get a whole bunch of gains, right? You're going to be on top of the world, and you're going to be... And then so if injuries do happen, because life happens, training happens, it just happens, right? Life isn't fair. When the injuries do come, guess what? It's probably not going to be so bad as if you hadn't done any of these things at all, right? So, David Rodriguez, injury prevention, like it, hate it, other things, questions, comments, concerns, complaints. Please follow stomped.tricking at Instagram. I'm going to move more of the educational content to that. If you want to follow my personal account for tricking or whatever, it's going to be at hotrod_intricate33. Again, hope you learned something and have a great day. Oh, and also follow the YouTube. The YouTube's also at stomp.tricking.com. So, peace, homies.